We're hanging.
Hey,
Good morning. We're live.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday.
We're like a half a minute late because Tony did not want to leave me alone with you.
We had to take some photos. All right. How's everybody doing today? I hope wonderful.
Hope you're all ready for a warm day, a nice day to, Florida just presents us with so many days and reasons to stay in and so either it's too hot or it's raining or whatever, but it's all a great excuse to sew.
Good point. Can't argue with the logic. Good morning, Janice. Good morning, Sheila.
People already, yeah.
Wonderful. 5 people. I don't know who else is on there. So, Tony, if you see anybody saying hello on Instagram or YouTube, let us know so we can say hi.
Yeah, so maybe you should call your friends.
Well, you can call them. You can also share it with them.
Share it with them.
Give the thumbs up and the hearts. It does wonders. Look at this. Just like that. Cut up and sew. Loves cut up and sew.
Yay. So do I.
Self-love is a good thing.
There's nothing wrong with it, no.
Absolutely.
Will the binding class cover machine binding?
Yes.
Alrighty. Questions out the gate.
Actually, it is. The machine, and it's really geared towards machine binding. However, if there are people who want to learn, who want to do it, just learn how to have a really nice turned binding and have a nice sewn edge so you can't really see the sewing, I can do that too. Either way, it's fine. Whatever you want in that binding class, you can have.
Fantastic.
Woo-hoo.
Good morning, Maria. Good morning, Sam. So, well, we talked about it a little bit on the Saturday at study hall, but when is the binding class?
24th
Tony?
and 31st.
Tony?
As opposed to the last 2 weeks.
Not this Friday coming up, but the following, I believe.
No, there's a day off in between.
Yeah, we have a
Oh.
Mary between.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a day off in between, and then the last 2 weeks in May is the binding class, and then I'm off.
Hey, me
And
too.
you are too.
Leaving Tony solo.
That's right.
Morning, Brad.
No, Maria will be here.
Yeah, she gonna do it with you?
Sure.
Maria. Maria.
Maybe.
Brad and Sheila, I'm just curious. Are you guys sitting in separate rooms watching together, or are you just holding your phones next to each other having breakfast?
Oh, that's awesome. They can hear you guys.
Can you guys hear us all right?
Because when we plugged that, it went to that microphone, so I'm making sure. Okay.
I can hear us.
Okay.
Just making sure.
Switch.
Oh, if you switch to this camera, yeah, okay. Are we good?
Yep.
Sounds like we're good. I heard ourselves. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. Let me just start with this. I have notes, but I'm not looking at them. Janome is doing it again. I think this is 4th time I think they've done this. There's a little bit of a glare. I can't really see. Hopefully they can see that.
They
But
can see it.
yeah, they can see it.
It's a giveaway
It's a giveaway.
for surgery.
Yeah, so this round, this month's spring giveaway, Janome is giving away, looks like a Cover Pro and a 634D. I don't know if you get both. To win both, it says it right there. Go Janome.
Wow.
We've had one of our very own Cut Up and Sew crew members win one of these Janomes, so let's do it again. All you got to do is come into the shop, scan this QR code, and you punch your information in, put Cut Up and Sews where I entered, and you can win. That's awesome. Free stuff. Who's going to say no to that?
That's right.
Yeah.
Awesome. That'd be fun.
I think we might have one of the Cover Pros in stock still, if you guys are curious. A lot of people have a serger that maybe is a cover stitch, but it's a combination, but they don't like switching back and forth. So a lot of people have chosen to go, well, let me just get a Cover Pro or Cover Stitch machine and just keep that set up for that, and then they could just use their serger as a serger.
Okay, so for those people who are like me and have you could be speaking Chinese right now, and I don't know what a cover stitch is as opposed to serger.
So what's the easiest way to explain this?
The bottom edge of your t-shirt.
The bottom edge of your shirt. So it doesn't cut. It's basically like a top stitch.
Okay.
So there's no blade.
Uh-huh.
So I know you guys can't see this, but if you look right here, there's no room for a blade like right here.
Mhm.
So this is actually this is why they're doing this. Serger cover stitch machine.
Okay.
So that you can actually cut and finish your edges like you would with any normal serger. Because, when you normally use a serger, it'll finish the edge.
Right.
Well, it's actually, I shouldn't even say that. Nowadays, what they're doing with sergers is incredible. They're making quilts with sergers, but a lot of people use them for garment sewing or just to finish the edge of products.
Okay.
But yeah, a cover stitch machine doesn't cut.
Okay.
Yep. So,
All right.
good morning. We're doing a Facebook Live. Tony, you want to chat with him for a moment? All right. So, where was I at? Oh, yeah. Cover stitch giveaway happening now. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Sorry, we had a gentleman walk in, totally threw off my concentration. All right. Who else are we saying good morning to? Lynn, Mary. I scanned already. Sam, you already won. Doesn't mean you can't win again.
And she's a very lucky person.
I know. She won the other day.
Again.
Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Tris. All right. So we didn't have fabric today. We do have some new fabric in, but
I was very sad.
I know. Well, I'll tell you why.
Okay.
It's all the newest stuff that came in is Halloween fabric.
And you're saving it.
And I'm kind of saving it towards,
Okay.
yeah, because we're doing our Halloween in June again.
But you're not here in June.
It's heartbreaking, I know. But I will be back for our Halloween party.
Okay.
More information coming soon.
Okay.
But of course, Tony's going to be here, so there's going to be tons of specials. And while
You know what
I'm
they
away,
say,
I'm sure.
when the
Yeah.
cat's away.
Exactly. Oh, more. She said we had our second grandson at 9:30 p.m. on the 4th. Congratulations, Tris. Woo.
Oh, very awesome.
That's awesome.
These babies are just popping out all over. There's like 5 new ones in my family.
Oh,
I
but
can't even keep up.
get to quilting.
That's right.
Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Joyce. All right, that's awesome, Tris. Congratulations. That's fantastic news. I love hearing
And
that.
it's so fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
So the reason we have all this stuff is because I was like, you know what? We got all these new notions in, and since we're not going to share the fabric, let's just talk about some of the goodies that pretty much Maria picked out. Start with the pressing sheet. I think everybody knows what that is, but we haven't had these in stock in a while. Do you use pressing sheets?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Mhm.
So nothing, in my opinion, that's super fancy about this brand, Dritz, for example. But I do find that pressing sheets, I use it at home all the time because I don't have a great setup. And
So what
I'm
do
just-
you use them for?
well, collage quilting or anything like that. Anytime that I'm pressing the iron to the fabric, I don't want the iron directly on the fabric, mainly because my iron's not clean.
Yeah.
That's my main reason.
Oh, that's a good thought.
But also, if there's any sort of glue,
Mhm.
I'm assuming.
So
This
if you
protects
put
that.
this on top of something, would steam go through it, do you think? If you wanted to steam something?
I would assume it would have to, but
Okay.
it would
I
still.
don't know.
Tony, if you steam on a pressing sheet, is it going to go through it?
No,
The moisture?
No.
It won't, really?
Okay.
There you go.
it's solid. It's not meant to be breathable through.
It's solid. Well, it's thin, though.
Doesn't matter. It's plastic or it's Teflon.
It's
or,
Teflon,
yeah.
yeah. But okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
I guess that's part of the idea. But for me, I only use it because it just protects my fabric from
Right.
getting
Mhm.
damaged.
T-shirt quilts. I use that on the bottom and the top.
Oh, Tony says she uses this for t-shirt quilts on the bottom and the top.
So I have 2.
Interesting.
And I really like the idea of using it when you know the bottom of your your iron is not as clean as it could be.
I know.
And
We
that
actually
that can be an issue. And when you have something to protect your fabric, it's great.
absolutely.
Good thought.
Fabric ain't cheap. Well, that's Maria, but that's what I use it for. I'm sure. We actually sell a iron cleaner. We might be out of it, but I mean that's something that probably everyone should have.
Yeah. Is that the hot iron cleaner or?
There's different versions.
We've had both actually. I think.
Okay.
I don't know which one's over there. Actually, I've used the suds, but there's a specific product that's made to clean irons.
Yeah. And if you're a
What do you think about
collage
suds
person,
for your iron?
Suds is not bad actually. I mean, it's an all-purpose cleaner. You've heard us talk about suds before, but it works really well. But sometimes there's a really deep, whatever's in that iron cleaner is clearly meant for that. So
Yeah. if you're a collage person, having some of that iron cleaner is a must. And, you know, for me, I like the stuff for the hot iron because I really don't want to wait.
it's a valid point actually.
I'm impatient.
Done. Before I put my iron up, let me just wipe it down. And to me, I'm thinking it's hot. It's going to come off easier anyway, but don't burn your hand.
That is an issue.
Yeah. Walking around with oven mitts, cleaning your iron. All right, another thing, and these, we got them in and they're almost gone. I think this is the last 3 we have, but we'll get more in. Amazing Hugo's tape. Hugo's amazing tape, sorry. Do you know about this?
No, I
Different
don't.
sizes, so hopefully you guys
2,
can see
1
that.
1/2 inch.
2, 1, half. It's an amazing tape. So it's not an adhesive.
Oh, it's like
It
one.
grips. So some people use it to wind around their thread so that they don't have the trail of thread. Some people, Maria uses it to wrap her power cord up,
Smart.
which I was like, oh.
What do you-
Stabilizer. That's why.
Oh, for stabilizer, that's really good actually.
What?
Once
Oh,
you
it-
open a roll of stabilizer,
Okay.
you can use this to wrap. Basically, it adheres to itself.
So it doesn't leave any adhering stuff on your fabric or whatever else you're wrapping.
Grips without adhesive, sticks to itself, not to your stuff.
Now, tell me, Tony, what do you think? Could you use this as a guide on your sewing machine?
And rulers.
And rulers. Awesome. Oh my goodness. Okay. You better get more of
That's
that
what we
in.
were talking about. Sunday.
Even though it's clear, huh?
Mhm.
I guess it's raised up just enough.
Mhm. You just need that ledge.
Yeah, well, so because I don't really use one because I don't sew, I don't piece like that. Well, I'm making a quilt. You'll be proud of me. But I don't like the tape
Right.
on your
Right.
machine. That's
Right.
just me.
Mhm.
You know, so I like anything that just comes off without
And you can
leaving
layer
a-
that on top of itself too to make it thicker.
Right.
You could do a couple layers, yeah, and you could probably even make a mark if you needed to if it didn't show up for whatever reason. So
It'll show up.
it'll show up. They say Hugo's amazing tape. It's fantastic. Good morning, Leah. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, Val. Used to control loose ends of thread. Yep, exactly. Good morning, Cindy. So got some of that in. Sold almost all of it, but we'll get more in. It is actually awesome stuff.
It's amazing.
It's amazing stuff. Sorry.
Amazing tape.
Maria picked these out. Tony, I'll let you show the camera. And they are just stinking cute. So all you bag makers out there, well, just
No.
makers in general, but I like seeing it on bags unless we're talking about these for baby quilts.
Oh, look how cute that
Hey,
is.
Tris.
For all these babies.
Yeah. By the way, Tony, when you were talking to that gentleman, Tris announced that her second grandson was born at 9:30 p.m. You probably already know this, though, don't you?
I do. Why is it not focused? There it goes. I had to wait a second. Sorry, guys. I had to wait for it to focus properly. Go one more. Oh, maybe not. This one says handmade. You can't see it, but you get the gist of it. Maybe. Focus.
Focus. These are great.
There. Those go.
Woven labels. Yeah. So they make a bazillion of these. We just picked out some of our favorites, but these are really cute. Great ideas. I love seeing a little tag on it. It just,
A quilt's not finished unless it has a label.
you heard that here. You've talked about it before, actually.
Yeah.
Finish strong. Put a label on your art.
That's right.
Put a label on your quilts.
Mhm.
But I also see now most of these. Well, no, so these can go on bags too. I like seeing any sort of little tag.
Mhm.
For those that are actually selling their products, it's, to me, it kind of makes it look more professional.
Yeah.
You've got like this finished
Mhm.
look to it. So, and it's cute. All right. We'll move all those. And then the last thing, I think, as far as the notions, this is a Sew Steady table. Most people are probably familiar with Sew Steady.
Mhm.
We get people asking all the time, but just in case, I'll kind of let you guys know. Sew Steady makes pretty much, I'd say 99.9% of the inserts or the extension tables for the industry,
Mhm.
like for all brands across the
Really?
board. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So the way it works is if this is actually for a ballad or a chorus machine, and if you're not using a cabinet where you're going to drop your machine down and use an insert, an extension table is phenomenal. It's just your machine ends here and it gives you this extra space and so much more room
Mhm.
to play. So Steady, they're made to order. We can literally get a different, you choose the size, but a table for any machine on the planet.
Mhm.
They make them for featherweights. I mean, you name it. So,
Amazing.
but one thing that I love, I'm a sucker for lights.
Mhm.
And I don't know how long they've had it, but I just found out about it. Sew Steady now creates this light stick, which is awesome. And the concept, and you can see, Tony, you were asking about it. It comes with different ways if you want to mount it, if you want to put adhesive tape on it, you can mount it. But let me ask you this. I think it's phenomenal. I would like the idea of the type of playing and quilting and things that I do, the light from the bottom. So my question is, do you think that would be helpful for quilters, like traditional quilters more?
The thing that I thought of immediately when I
Just so
saw
you guys
that
can
was
see,
it
it's
turns
just a
this
small, thin.
yeah, it turns this into a light box. So if you're working
100%.
with, if you're wanting to use a light box for whatever reason, you can just, and you're sewing here, you can just use this area for your light box, and you don't have to go looking for your light box.
Well, and space is limited.
And
So
space is
I
limited,
love
yes.
this. But
Mhm.
I asked Tony, like, what are some other reasons? Because I immediately go light box, light underneath your thing. I immediately go to the collage quilt.
Mhm.
But then you said, all forms of paper piecing, applique,
But definitely machine paper piecing.
Mhm.
machine, so
'Cause if you're
foundation
moving
paper
your
piecing.
right, when you're checking your pieces, you're going to put it right on top of that. You can
Mhm.
see the line.
And it just adds so much light. It's
Mhm.
fantastic. I love
awesome.
these. And I honestly, shame on me if these have been around for a long time, but they could be new. Regardless, they're new to us and hopefully new to you. So we've got a few of these left in stock, and I will definitely order more. It's just a nice, lightweight, easy to you could easily take this to
So now,
classes, retreats.
let's say if you don't have this, how else could you use it so that what else would you use it for light? Where else would you-
Well, I know my son would be a lightsaber.
I was in a
You
closet.
Honestly, it's just really good lighting.
It
So, I mean, but it comes with the mount, so you can technically light up your space.
Under your cabinet.
Mhm.
If you wanted, I mean, yeah, really, it's very small and thin, but it's got good light.
I like the lightsaber idea.
Lightsaber. Well,
Only the
having a
father of the
5-year-old.
boy.
Put it in a pool noodle and then do it.
put it in a pool noodle.
Oh my goodness.
So anyway, love these. I thought it was a great idea, and we got them
Yeah.
in. So I'm excited
Awesome.
about that. Okay, hold on. Let me look at my notes. I just skipped over so many things. Notions was at the bottom. Okay, let's see. What am I missing? I saw somebody. Good morning. Both quilts cut, 22 blocks done. Wow, Leah, that's incredible. She is making two of a really cool pattern, and maybe you can put it in the comments. It was so cool. So she was here picking out the
Mhm.
fabric. I cannot wait to see him. She is uber
It
organized.
was beautiful. Those teals and forms.
Yeah, well, the fabric selection, it's going to be so pretty, but I just loved the pattern. I can't remember the name of it. I love mine. Linda, you said I love mine. You're talking about this light? You have this?
Or table.
Is that what we're talking about? Extension table or light? I'm just curious.
Or both.
Or both. Turn off. Thank you. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning, Nina. Nice
Good
to see you.
morning.
Nina Clot Filter.
Yeah, you haven't been on for a couple of weeks. Welcome back.
She's been busy. She's having her house
Flooring.
flooring taken out and redone. So
Always a big
she's
job.
going through it. Yeah. I loved having her on my podcast, which we're not going to get into too much right now. But
Mhm.
Nina, thank you for that. It was so much fun. I've listened to it like 3 times.
Oh.
Good morning, Barbara. She says good morning, Josh and Joann, by the way.
Oh,
They didn't leave you
thank
out.
you.
Okay, so on my list here, Mother's Day sale. So Mother's Day is coming up. We love our moms. We love everybody, but Mother's Day sale, and you don't have to be a mom to take advantage of this, by the way.
Mhm.
But we've got a handful of things. Gift cards. It's kind of a no-brainer idea for anybody that you don't know for sure exactly what they want. So if you get a $50 gift card or more, we'll give you an extra $10.
Wow.
Free money. Also 20% off of all floral prints, anything with a flower on it
Mhm.
or something flower-ish,
Mhm.
you'll get 20% off of. Also, if you pay with cash or check, we will give you 2 Cash Pig tickets and an extra 10% off.
What's that mean?
Oh boy, did people take advantage of that on Saturday.
Uh-huh.
I was kind of looking at Tamara going, I might have made a mistake.
Uh-huh.
It was great because it was Tula Day.
Yeah.
The cheapest we've ever sold Tula, that's for
I was
sure.
going to
But it
say,
was
do you
great.
have any left?
Yeah, but they did some damage,
Uh-huh.
big time. You asked,
Double dip. Explain.
you
that.
can double dip. So we don't normally allow you to, if we say something's 10% off, well, you can't take 10% off of something that's already on sale.
Ah.
So usually we don't allow double dipping, but because it's Mom's Day, we
Mhm.
figured why not? I figured why not? And hey, it is what it is. And what Mother's Day is,
This,
you got another week.
last
This whole week. Oh well, yeah.
Yeah,
true,
you have this
yeah.
week to prepare, but it's Sunday.
It is this Sunday, yeah. So it's
Mhm.
this week. So come in, take advantage. Also, trade in pricing, thank you, across the board. So, and that's another Mother's Day sale. Sorry, I kind of paused in the middle there. So all of our machines on the floor, we normally take trade-ins, and that's how you get to that low price point. Well, until Mother's Day, you can get to that low price point without a trade-in.
Oh.
Now on that one, if you have a trade-in, we can't really go lower. So my suggestion is either keep it because you're getting that money for free anyway, or sell it on your own. Make some extra guacamole, and then come buy an extension table. Yeah, Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, that was yesterday. So trade-in specials, $50 gift cards, get free money, 10% off, and 2 cash pig tickets if you pay with cash or check.
And then 20% off?
And 20% off the floral.
I hope you have this posted somewhere, so because that's a lot to keep track of.
We did during shop hop. We know how to share.
We're figuring out. People come in and we're rattling it off. And they forget the first thing by the time we're the last thing.
If you have something, you give them that.
You gotta spoil our moms, you
Yeah,
know?
right.
This is a big one. And our customers, you're right.
It's not just
Our moms do Mother's Day.
You could be the mom.
It's true, Mr. Mom. All right, pre-loved machines. Just a reminder, I still have some really good pre-loved machines. So any, mothers or anyone really that's getting into the sewing industry and they come in and they see the price point of a Solaris and they go, what? Like, I want to fall in love with this industry, but I can't invest that. That's where pre-loves are perfect. So send them our way. We put a warranty on them and they're in really good shape. So highly recommend at least looking at them.
Yeah.
And we'll answer any questions you have.
And it's always really nice to have if you're starting out, the tendency is to go buy the cheapest thing you can find, which will only discourage you as you go along. And so if you can look at the pre-loved machines and find something in your price point that's a nicer machine that you can actually use that will help you as you go along, you'll be a lot happier.
Yep.
The whole process.
You're a prime example. Like these trade-ins that I get that become pre-loved machines, like our technician goes through them, but usually I know the person. And so with confidence, I can go, I know who took care of this machine. So your machine went to somebody who got their first embroidery machine and they couldn't be happier.
Good.
Perfect. Right time, right place. I mean, that's usually how that works. So anyway, soapbox over. But I love pre-loved machines. Nina, I saw your comment. I'm glad you listened. I hope you loved it. It was awesome.
And then Kathy has another same comment. If you want to talk about what your pocket.
Diamond Tides, by the way. That was what the pattern was from Leah. It's so cool. Kathy, I will tell you exactly what my podcast is after I say good morning, Martha. Good morning, Angelina. And good morning, Becca. So it's called, this was not on my notes, Sew Rogan Experience. And it's something I've been wanting to do for quite a while. And I finally just said, let's start it. So I started interviewing people. And the whole goal, basically I asked 3 questions, but the entire goal is to get people excited about the sewing industry that don't know about the sewing industry. Also to create a new generation of sewers. And to talk about where the future of the industry is going and tips and tricks, and just have organic conversations with kind of a main goal of just getting people inspired and pumped up about the industry. And it's been awesome so far. The third episode just released this morning at midnight. Well, I'm asleep, so I'm like.
So how often do they come out?
I'm gonna do once a week. Yeah, so it's fun. First interview was Mom, which was really fun. So many people are like, "Oh, I get where you get your personality." I'm like,
Listen to it. It's really fun.
Yeah, but anyway, thank you for asking. I'm having a blast with it, and I'm hoping to just be able to get so many people in the industry, creatives, designers, fabric reps, machine reps. Other shop owners, customers, artists, anybody that will, that's been in the industry that wants to have this conversation. The one we just did with Teresa Stoller was the one that just released. We had so much fun, and it was just, my brain started going, all these ideas started bubbling. So I'm having fun with it.
Cool.
Yep. Okay. So let's see. Pre-loved machines, Mother's Day sales, Janome giveaway. I did that earlier. Notions. I already talked about that. Arrow chairs are on super duper sale. We can't tell you what it is because we'll get in trouble. But if
website.
Well, no, it's cheaper than the website. That's all I'll say. I don't know if I should say that either. Yeah. Anyway, they're on sale. Call us. Yeah.
Ignore that last part.
Ignore that.
That's called cut up and sew mystery.
That's right. You would literally have to come in for us to talk about it. We have a bunch of them. Let's just put it that way. We're trying to clean some house. Spring cleaning still happening.
And if you pay cash.
And if you pay cash, oh boy. Uh-oh. Didn't think that one through. Yeah. Okay. That's it for now. I want to mention classes at the very end, but I want to save room for this because I'm excited.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Is it my
Let's
turn?
go. It's your turn. I'll shut up.
This is really fun. This is kind of a funny thing because I really don't know anything about what I'm talking about today, but I'm really excited about it.
Char just tuned in. Perfect timing, by the way.
So what happened was, let me get my box,
What had happened was
my stuff. So a couple of years ago,
apparently we're taking shots.
that's right, pure water.
You sure?
A couple of years ago, this fabric came out, and there's a lot of fabric just like this, where it's just black. Vodka does not work with paint. So, but it's black and white. It has flowers or whatever on it. And I was using it in a quilt, and I thought, wouldn't it be fun if there were splashes of color throughout it? And my friend told me about Inktense pens. So I, of course, bought them because that's what I do. And so I bought them and I started playing around with them. And you know, it took practice, and I'm not good at practice. So I kind of put them aside for a while and didn't think about them much. And then I happened to take Nina Clodfeller's class on thread painting. And I started thinking about thread painting and using that in conjunction with the paints and being able to thread paint whatever I was doing and then kind of fill in the color with the Inktense pens. And then I started thinking about things like, you know, like if you have a little canvas bag like this, it's just plain and unexciting. You could draw a design on here and paint it with your Inktense pens. And let's see what else. Or if you wanted to, you could draw your own design on a piece of fabric and fill that in with the pens. Now, what Inktense pens is they're different from just plain old colored pencils, and they're different from the watercolor pencils. They are pencils that actually, the paint in them is actually ink. And so it gives you a more vibrant color, and it gives you, and it's permanent. So that once you put it on fabric, then you end up with a permanent thing. So here is.
Do you have the case that the
do.
pens came in? I just wanted to, so they could see when we're saying Inktense.
Right.
I don't know if that's
here.
I think that's like the brand. Is it the brand?
Yes, and I
No,
don't
it's
know
not the
that
brand.
anybody else makes it. Derwent makes it, and it's
Oh yeah, it's their Inktense. Yeah.
Inktense, and it's ink because there's ink in it, and tense because the color can be very intense. It can be as light or as dark as you want. So for an example, here's a piece of fabric that I had, and I'm actually going to have Josh do some of the coloring because he's better at things like shading and all that sort of stuff than I would be.
Don't get your
I'm
hopes
not.
up.
But we're actually going to do a demonstration here of how you can use these. So this is the original fabric, and then I was just playing around with it this morning and came up with this.
You want to switch cameras? here?
Yeah. Let's
Let's move this.
So I was
remember
playing.
how it's
It's
darn it.
so turn it like that's the front.
Yeah.
Well, technically this doesn't really matter. You want to lower it?
Yes.
There. Is that low enough?
She always bring it up a little bit too.
Like this?
Yep.
Okay, so this is the same piece of fabric that I've used some of these pencils on and created a colorful little took this black and white design and made it colorful. And it was
It's
kind
so
of fun.
cool.
It was kind of fun. So I brought this for Josh.
So you can leave that there.
And I
Okay,
can
cool.
place it.
So I think it's okay.
Mhm.
I bought a set of these with a set of these. And you basically just fill this with water. And that way you don't have to have your shot glasses of water here to, dip it in. But truthfully, with a regular paintbrush, I bet it works. I've never tried it. But
It
I don't
does.
see why
It does. This was all done with a regular paintbrush.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so
we
here-
won't do this super long, but let's see. What color is it? What color do you want?
Doesn't matter.
So let's just do a little bit here. Now, I have heard a lot of times, and a lot of times I'll just start, but I've heard people, instead of using water, they'll use aloe.
You can use aloe.
Or what else could you use? Because water, well,
There's a fabric. And I'm sorry, my brain did not hold on to that. There's a fabric paint fixative that you can put on that you can mix with your paint. And when you mix it, it makes it so that it only goes where your paintbrush is going. So one of the
Right.
problems with this is if, let's say you wet this like this and you go to draw on it with your pencils, then what will happen is wherever the water is, that's where the paint will go. So it can easily go past the edge of where you want. Now, sometimes that's what you want. You just want a little bit of a real.
so what's interesting?
Now, Cindy
I
does
wonder if
say aloe does keep it from wicking as much.
Yes, it does.
Yes, I've heard that as well.
So aloe is one of the things. And if you're going to use aloe, you just want to use a clear aloe, which I could not find.
Now, I'm just curious. I've never done it the way you did it.
Yeah, she wet it.
Am I doing
first.
this backwards?
No, you can, and you can do it any way. You can use just the dry pencils and leave it that way. You
Well,
can
I
use
got to be honest with you, and I'll just fill this in now. With the way that you're doing it, where you put the water down first, it comes off of the pencil way
Really
faster. Like
Mhm.
I'm just using a colored pencil and just lightly shading because that's what I'm used to doing. And then I feel like the paint just kind of gives it more of the water gives it more of a painterly look. Where this is actually going to fill in
Yeah, so
spaces
if
way more.
So like, let's say you had something like this, if you look at a dogwood petal, you'll notice that on the outer edge, the petal is usually white, but along the outer edge, it's a little bit pinker. So what you could do something here is just put a little bit of pink along the edges just to kind of give it a little bit of interest.
See, I use it like so. And I just end up going, okay, now it looks a little bit more like a paint, and it makes it more than the
Exactly.
colored pencil markings or what have you.
Yes.
But that's cool because a lot of times I was doing a larger space and I was like, this is taking forever. But if you just get it wet, it just sucks to.
It sucks it out. And you just have to know what's going to happen past that. And some of the things that you can do is, let's say you have a piece of fabric and you want to do that with it. First of all, cut out a piece and try it first. But some of the things that you can do with it is you can spray it with a sizing. And when you spray it with the sizing and then you drop some water, and you do that until you drop water on it and the water beads up on top of it. So you spray it with the sizing, you press it in, and then the fabric will not pull the water out. It will just keep it right where you want to draw, because you put that sizing on it. Or there is fabric. For example, I have this piece of fabric where I could use this fabric here to actually draw a picture on. And
Yeah, see, I think I'm gonna have to play with that because I'm just curious now.
Now, Cindy suggests you can embroider an open design and paint too.
yes, you can. And that was one of the things that started me thinking this weekend about it, because I was thinking about if you like the red work or something like that, you can do the red work designs, and then you can just every here and there fill it in with some color.
Yeah, you just barely touch it. It makes it so much. I was just wanting to show them. Look at the difference. The blotchiness of this versus it really just sucks it right out.
Exactly.
Ooh.
And that, so, it's definitely something to play around with. One of the things that I had thought of, one of the places where I was really wanting to be able to use it was in collage, because sometimes you'll be working with a collage and you'll think, oh, it just needs a little bit extra contrast there because something's not standing out. You can take your Inktense pens and kind of outline it so that it brings out the color that you want. Or one of the things that I was thinking about was for a background, making a larger space that had a lot of different color that kind of blended out. So there'd be like splotches of red and green and yellow or whatever that kind of moved out from the main portion instead of having instead of doing little pieces, essentially making my own fabric or my own design in the back there.
It's limitless. And then the last thing I'll say before you hold on, Tony's got her hand up. I also use it when I'm doing like thread painting or free motion. If I am actually trying to keep something nice and neat and I go over it and I'm not, I'll actually use this same color as a thread just to fill in between the two pieces of thread instead of getting a Sharpie. Sometimes it looks nicer, I think. And it's just another media that I don't know. I love her medium. So
yeah, it's just something else that you can add and kind of play with and use to enhance your quilts. You can actually, let's say you have a quilt that you want to make and there's a specific thing that you would like to put in it and you can't find it. And so, but you could conceivably get your own fabric, a nice piece of whatever background you want, draw the design on there and paint that. Now, I know that there are people out there who are saying, I can't draw. I don't have a design. I could never do that. Coloring books. They have, I mean, this one has fairly complex designs in it,
coloring book.
but it's the only one I have. But all these coloring books, there's got to be a million coloring books out there right now. And you can take it and draw your design on there. If you want it a little bit bigger, you can take that design and put it on your printer.
Would be perfect for it.
Yes, it would.
I see a bunch of comments. Tony, were you going to say something or ask?
I was going to say there's a lot of response. Would you be willing to do a class?
Yes, after September.
In the fall. Yeah.
Well, and I think Cindy even put like we should have an intense Inktense play day. Like that could be fun too, to where it's not as it's kind of hard to teach a paint art. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's very subjective. And so, but I think just having maybe a, what did we call it one time? Like a round table, like a play day. I like that.
Yeah, I think that
you can kind of guide it, maybe come up with a project or something. But yeah, I think that'd be awesome. Now, to be fair, you do need the Inktense. I don't know if there's another brand that I know of.
Not that I know of. Not that I know of.
You might know.
And it comes in 3 different forms that you can come. It comes in the pencil form. It also comes in like, you know, when you were a kid, you had those little watercolor things with the little pads of color. It comes in that sort of thing. And it also comes in bars.
That's what she said. It comes in blocks. That's what she's talking about. Like a charcoal.
Yes.
Like, oh, that's
so it has 3 different ways it comes. They're not inexpensive, but you can get 24 colors. You can get 12
I think
colors,
I got the 12. Yeah.
and there's like a 72, and there's probably something in between. And you can also buy them individually. Let's say you really only want to do something that's yellow and orange. You just buy the yellow and orange pencils. And so you can, there's a lot of, there's just a lot you can do.
This is a little bit of an investment. Water's free, and you can get dirt cheap paintbrushes. So
yes,
but I do like these. I liked these, and I didn't think I would. I got I don't remember how many, but they all have different size bristles. So and it's just nice. You fill it up, the water's right there, and I'm just always worried that I'm going to spill water. So I like it here versus in a shot glass.
Yeah, well, that would definitely be a fun thing to do, and
that would be fun. So let's do it.
Okay.
Done deal.
In the fall.
Yeah, because we're gonna both be gone, so you can't do it without us.
Yeah.
Don't do it without us.
We don't want this.
I don't know how to do it.
Okay.
But yeah, in the fall.
I've been using coloring books for years. That's awesome, Linda. Good morning, Jill. Am I missing anybody's comment or question?
Sam said shading for Baltimore album.
Yeah.
Shane for very cool.
So many
morning,
options for this, and it's just, you know, last week I was teaching a collage class, and the class was a couple hours away, and I decided that I asked my girlfriend if she would come with me because it was a couple hours away. I'd never even heard of the town I was going to, much less been there. And so I asked her to go with me. So we went up, and as we're going up, before we went, she said, well, what do you want me to do while you're there? It's an all-day class. And I thought, I don't know. And then I thought, she does, she uses the Inktense pencils a fair amount. And I said, why don't you show people the pencils? And so she just made a little stand, and people could come up and play with them a little bit and get an idea of what they do. And it's just everybody really enjoyed using it. And there just seems to be a lot of things that you can do with it, and a lot of ways you can incorporate it.
I love it. This is what I'm talking about. That's why that topic of the podcast, people are so excited about trying new things, and this industry is too fun, and it's just getting cooler. Yeah.
And you're absolutely right. There's a lot that's going on in the industry, and there's so much that just, after a while of making quilts, I don't know how many quilts you have, but I have a lot. And, you get to the point where, you want to do something different. And this is a great thing to do. And it's
absolutely,
we're just in a great place.
And at least try everything once. In fact, Teresa said it on the pod. I'm going to use this all the time, but don't be afraid to suck at something new. I think is what she said. And I was like, that's great.
That's a great thing.
Right?
Because that is my biggest fear, is I'll try something and I'll think, oh, I can't do this. I mean, I've tried it for 5 minutes. I can't do it. So I'm going to put it aside.
Well, as long as you try it.
Perfect.
Yeah, I just don't want somebody to go, oh, I could never do that. Well, hey, hold up. At least try. You surprise yourself. Like, you don't have to be a skilled drawer.
Yeah.
Drawer is a real word. Artist, but that's but I was talking about drawing specifically. Drawer.
I know that sounds
weird. Person who can draw.
Right.
But in order to have fun with these, totally. So
exactly.
I'm glad that you brought this. That's fun.
Okay.
Too cool.
Good.
Speaking of classes, make sure you sign up for the binding class. I don't think it's full.
No.
Okay.
It's almost full.
So it's almost full. So cutupandsew.com, sign up for Joann's classes. Not really all of them, but the binding class sounds like it's of high demand. So I would sign up early for sure. We have Mary McCarthy's garment classes that are starting to fill up. 2 days. They're filling up. Not starting to. They're filling up, which is what we want. I'm so excited because we're trying to get garment sewers excited and a part of Cut Up and Sew again. So it's 2 days, 3 classes. Go to cutupandsew.com. I would recommend signing up for all 3 of them because you get a price break. And then you get to spend 2 days with us.
One spot for those left.
One spot. Only one of those spots left for the all 3 price break bundle thingy. So that's awesome. And then charity sewing is on the 25th. We're doing... Yes, I was like, what is this? Scissor sharpener. But on the 25th is project. Nope, it is Ryan's Case for Smiles. We're going to make a bazillion pillowcases. All you guys need to do is show up, hang out with us as usual, donate your skills, and your time. I think we have enough fabric, but I'm excited about that. And then our scissor sharpener is going to be back. And we're trying to have Fred here as many of the charity sewing parties as possible so that we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Do some sewing for some good and take care of our tools.
That's right.
And drop them off if you can. And we put these up. No one mentioned them. They've probably seen them before, but we have quite a few of our samples still left. Great Mother's Day gifts, just saying, on sale. So we've got price tags on all of them. So,
and I'm noticing some of these have beautiful quilting. Some of them are done by some of the counties. Really excellent.
Debbie Skidmore did this one, and it is absolutely stunning. And I can't keep them all. I've already asked. Shan says no. And she's right. I have to learn to let go, share with the world. So anyway, out of your comfort zone. I love that. Good morning, Quilting Jeannie from Jacksonville. All right. So I think that's it. Thank you for bringing that. Have an amazing week. We'll be back on Saturday at 9 a.m. for a study hall where we're going to talk more about classes. Don't forget Mother's Day sales. Live to create.
Enjoy the journey.
I'm
kind of tired of the enjoy the journey. I need something new.
Oh, I love it.